This is Chris from sermonai. I'm glad you could join us. In this video, I want to take you on a walk through sermonai 3. We've had a lot of customers that are jumping into sermonai for the first time and really just don't have a basic general understanding of how the system works. So I just want to walk through all the different functionality and just really give you a good idea on how the system works. To begin with, sermonai was designed so that you could research and write your sermons in one system. You don't have to go website bouncing around. You don't need to go to your libraries. Everything is built into one system, whether it's your Logos library or your Kindle books, or research assistants or AI tools or templates. Everything is here for you to use. To begin with, if you drew a line down the center of the screen here, you would see that on the right-hand side is where we write our sermons, and on the left-hand side is where we research our sermons. And these are all different series of research tools that we can use to research our sermon. To begin with, I'll start with the Writing Assistant. Now, the Writing Assistant was designed as a built-in word processor. And you can see this is where you write your sermons. And so you're literally just typing in here, and all the formatting tools that you need available to you are available right in here. And also we have additional formatting tools right here. So if you're looking for bold, italic, underline, strike through, subscript, even colors and things like that, line heights, formatting, just like Microsoft Word, it's all built in for you right here. One of the nice things about our word processor is that when you highlight any text, and this is brand new in sermonai 3, you'll see that you get an AI wizard. And if I drop this down, I can summarize content, improve my writing, simplify my language, expand upon the text. It's all right there. And if I click on, for example, expand the text, it's going to go in here and it's going to expand on the text that I've written. And then the AI assistant will pop up and show what it's expanded. And if you like it, you can just insert it and boom, it goes right into your sermon, or you can decline it. It's up to you. Now up here, you'll see that you can start a new sermon at any time. So if I click this, the page goes blank because I'm now starting a new sermon. So this is a new sermon. I can also save my sermon. Now when you save your sermon, you want to click the save button, you want to give it a name, Sermon Example 1, and then click Save. And you'll notice this green success prompt in the top right hand corner. That means it's been saved to the database and you're safe, all your work has been saved. Once you have saved, not before, but once you have saved your initial save, you've named the file, then you can turn on autosave if you like, and this will go through and it'll actually save your work every few seconds to the database so that you don't lose any of your work. But you cannot turn on autosave until after you've already saved the file once and you've given it a name. Once you've saved the file, you'll notice that this button turns to update. That's because it's just updating the file you've already saved. So this is an update. I'm writing more information and I'll just click the update button, and again, you'll see here, whenever you see this green box, you know you're safe. All your work has been saved. In addition, we also have Open Your Sermons. This will allow you to open a list of all the different sermons that you've been working on, and you can just pick whichever one you want and open it back up, and you can begin to continue your work, go right back into your sermon that you had been working on. And that's what Open does. We also, when you save your sermons, not only can you access them here, and we'll go through this in a minute, but you can access them here too, My Sermons. And this will take you to the sermonai cloud where you can organize all of your work and all of your sermons and build folders and keep things organized and take all those sermons with you wherever you go. The last thing I'll show you here in the writing section on this side of the screen are your AI tools. Now all of these tools, if you click this here, AI tools, you'll see all of these tools were built in order to work with the text that you have here while you're writing your sermon. So they're for like writing sermons. So for example, if I wanted to add a Bible passage into my sermon, I could just come over here and say I want to add Mark 3, 1-3 in the NIV version, and it works with any translation. And click go, and it's going to go off and get me that passage. So you can see the results. Here's that passage. And all I have to do is click the copy button, and then I can close this window out, and I can come over to my sermon here and create a space, and I can just hit Control V as in Victor to paste, Control V as in Victor. We have a lot of people asking about how to copy and paste. So Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And you'll see here now I've put that passage into my sermon, and then I can modify it any way I want. So that's what these tools are for. They're all for working with the text on your screen. And I'll go through them real quickly just to give you an idea what each one does. Passage Finder, this allows you to go off and find a passage when you don't know chapter and verse. So you could just write down Jesus walked on the water or Jesus fed the 5,000 and hit go, and it'll find that passage for you. Sermon to Presentation, this is a powerful new tool, and we partnered up with a company called Gamma. And Gamma allows you to take your sermon text here and turn it into a nice, powerful presentation very easily using AI, just a few clicks. And we have a video here under training videos to show you how that works and how to do that. You can get a free subscription with them, and the free subscription allows you to do up to 10 presentations a month. You get 400 credits, and it's about 40 credits per presentation. And literally all you do is copy and paste your text and hit go. It's going to create pictures, it's going to create the entire presentation for you and summarize it for you. It's a really nice tool. Sermon snippets, if you click this, it's going to take whatever is written on your page here, and then it's going to give you snippets from that page, whether they're quotes, like inspirational quotes from your sermon that you want to use in your bulletin maybe, social media posts if you want to advertise the sermon that you're working on and getting ready to present, or discussion questions if you wanted to go through and create discussion questions to put in the bulletin or to have a Bible study group or whatever. That would all come from your sermon snippets tool here. Metaphor and Quote Finder. So Metaphor Creator will allow you to create metaphors. If you're trying to think of a metaphor for love or a metaphor for heaven or a metaphor for, suffering, you could just create metaphors by clicking on this and entering whatever the topic is you want to create a metaphor for. Same with Quote Finder. For example, if I wanted to get quotes from C.S. Lewis on heaven, I would just type C.S. Lewis in heaven. You can type anybody you want, and it's going to go off to AI. It knows everything he's published, so it can then grab me quotes, and it tells me this is from Mere Christianity. And again, all of this work, all of these results can be saved. Just Control-C to copy. Close this, and I can come over here and Control-V to paste. And so now what I'm doing is I'm taking my research and I'm dropping it right into my sermon in real time. The thesaurus will allow you to put in words. So let's say you're doing an alliterated sermon and you want to make the words match, that maybe start with the same first letter. So I could put in the word love, and it's just going to show me a list of other words for love that I could use. Affection, adoration, fondness, devotion, passion. So it's a really nice tool. Grammar repair, this is going to go through your entire sermon and fix all the grammatical errors. It's going to give you a suggested rewrite, and you can accept it or not accept it. It's totally up to you. Summarize text will take everything that's written on this page and it'll summarize it into a short, brief summary for you. You could even go online if you were on Google or something and you saw an article that was 5 pages long. You could copy all the text, paste it in here, and hit summarize, and it'll give you a really nice summary of the text without having to read the whole thing. Sermon Translate, this will allow you to take your entire sermon and translate it to any language you want. So I could put Spanish, French, Italian, whatever in here and hit go. It'll rewrite the whole sermon in that language for me so that I can send it to anyone in the world. YouTube Transcript, this allows you to copy and paste in any YouTube video link, and it'll actually transform that video link into a full transcript of the video, which you can paste right here in your sermon, and you can begin to customize and edit however you like. So if you hear a sermon from your favorite pastor on YouTube that you really liked in a video, you could just grab that transcript and you could incorporate parts of that into your own sermon, very simply. Sermon to Bible study, this will create an inductive Bible study with one click. It'll go through your entire sermon and build a beautiful inductive Bible study with observation, interpretation, and application for each point. Create an outline, this will actually take raw text. So if I was just typing in here, just random thoughts that I had and I wanted to turn that into a sermon outline, I can click Create Outline, and it'll give it a title, a subtitle, 3 main points, and it'll take all of my thoughts that I had on paper and turn it into a formal sermon. Download to MP3 will allow me to take whatever's written on this page, my sermon, and turn it into an audio file in either male or female voice. And I can download that and put it on my iPhone or take it with me wherever I want, to the gym or while I'm driving in the car, and listen to my sermon. And it's a great way to find mistakes and errors that you don't see with your eyes, but you hear with your ears. Listen to Sermon is exactly the same tool, only it plays it right here in the screen rather than downloading it to an MP3. And then finally, Sermon Evaluation is like a seminary professor. You just drop in your denomination and hit go, and it's going to go through your entire sermon, and it's going to grade it, and it's going to give you a full report on what it believes you've done right and wrong, where there might be theological questions that you want to answer or changes that need to be made. It'll just grade it like a professor would in seminary. So those are all AI tools built into the system for the writing assistant, and that's the writing assistant. One last thing is clippings. Clippings is a way that you can save all of your thoughts for later on if you have sermons coming up later on. For example, you heard a funny joke or a good illustration or a good story. You could just put in here the title, enter the text or paste it. Maybe you saw something online in an article that you wanted to keep. You just paste it in here and hit add clip. And once you do that, all your clippings will be stored right here. You can see my clipping, and if I click on it, there's my clipping, and I can just copy that and I can add that right into my sermon with Control V as in Victor, and I just put that clipping into my sermon. So that's what clippings is. So this is what your writing assistant really is. Again, some of the keys are just, you can write whatever you want, you can copy and paste your research in here, and anytime you highlight text, it'll take you right to the AI tool, and you can improve that writing or simplify it or expand on it or change the tone or style, all right here, okay? So there's your writing assistant. Now let's move over to the second half of the screen, and we'll look at your research tools. Now on this side of the screen, we have the research assistant. You'll see here it says research assistant. All of these tools, and you can click, just to show you how this works, so you have these tabs here, and each one is a series of different tools that you can use for researching your sermon, okay? And this whole thing here could be hidden, or we can blow it back up again. And also you have your layouts here, so if you want to focus just on writing your sermon, you can see how the blue here, this is just this half of the screen, or if you want to focus just on researching, you can do that. If you want to split the screen down the middle and do both, you can do that. So that's what your layout button does. Now I'll begin with the Bible tool on the research assistant side of the screen. The Bible tool has a series of different tools, and you notice these tabs here, everything from interlinear to cross-reference to lexicon, commentaries, dictionary, and Strong's Concordance, all built into one Bible tool. So this is the section, and these are the individual tools here. Now for the Bible tool, this is really for pulling out passages for your sermon. What's nice about it is you can enter a passage, 1 to 3, and I can come over and I can do the NIV translation. But if I put a comma in, I can also do the ESV, the King James Version, and the New Living Translation. And you can pick whichever ones you want. You can do original Greek, you can do Spanish translations. You just have to put them in here and hit go. And this is going to go off to the AI server, and then it's going to give me the passage that I asked for and all of these translations. So here we have the NIV, the ESV, the King James, and the New Living Translation. And again, I can just copy these, and I can Control V as in Victor and paste them right into my sermon here. If I want to, I can just begin to customize those and lay those out however I want to. What's also nice is if I wanted to copy everything, I can also just click the copy button here. But if I want to just take, maybe I only wanted the King James, I can highlight the King James, Control C to copy, and then over to my sermon, Control V as in Victor to paste, and there it is in my sermon. I'll just do a new sermon and clear that out. So this is your Bible tool here. And this is going to allow you to get whatever passages you need to work on with your sermon. In addition, if we come over here to interlinear, this is going to give us interlinear. So if I do Matthew 3, 1 to 3, and hit go. And while that's thinking, I can do my cross-reference, Matthew 3, 1 to 3, and hit go. And I can go through and get my lexicon going. And these are all thinking while I'm doing this. Let's say I want to do a study on the word grace in the lexicon. And let's say I'm doing Matthew 3, 1 to 3, and I'm really looking for some biblical commentary as well. We have over 50 different commentary types in here that you can choose from. So let's just say I wanted a homiletical commentary, and I hit go. And I'd like a dictionary for the word grace, hit go. And you'll see here that all of this is processing. So now I've got my passages, I've got my interlinear here, and you can see it's got the Strong's number, so you'll have the English word, the Greek word, and the Strong's number with a definition. And I could take any one of those Strong's numbers if I wanted to and go to Strong's and paste it in, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and hit go. This is going to give me a detailed report on that word. And you'll see here I have my cross-references now, and this is going to cross-reference Old Testament and New Testament passages that are similar. I've got my lexicon, which is going to do Hebrew and Greek if it's available, and it's going to go through that. And then I have my commentary here that I just did, all the biblical commentary that I'm looking for on this particular passage. And again, if I want to change it, I can just come over and say I want a literary commentary and hit go, and it'll just do that for me. So I have unlimited commentary. Then the dictionary gives me a nice definition of the words, and then the Strong's report gives me a full report on the Strong's information. So that is the Bible tool here, and this again all has to do with Scripture, sort of the heart of the system. Now let's take a look at our research assistant. You'll notice it's located right here. So we've seen the Bible tool. We're now going to look at the research assistant. The research assistant is a chatbot basically driven by AI. It is powered by OpenAI's Omicron GPT 4. Omicron, which is the most powerful AI available today, but it's been customized by sermonai to be designed for pastors. So the results you're going to get are for pastors. Everything will be clean, everything will be theologically sound, and it's driven by, if you go to here and you look at my account, you can enter right here your preferred Bible translations for all the tools, but also your denomination affiliation, so that the responses that you get are going to be driven in the way that you want them to be. So the chatbot is conversational. So for example, I can say hello, and it's going to say hello back to me. Now you see it's going to think here. Well, you see 3 purple dots, it's thinking, and then boom, it pops up with hello, how can I assist you today? Now you can ask questions as simple as how old was St. Paul when he died? And it'll go off and get you the answer. But you can also do very complex questions as well. For example, I might want to ask something like this. In Romans 3:23, the Greek word for sinned, harmaton, is in the aorist form, and I can just ask an original language question and just hit submit. And so you can see here's the question. It's about to pop up. Here's the question that I asked, and you can see here comes the answer. Now, you can get as long and complicated as you want. You can ask a question that's a paragraph long or 2 paragraphs long if it's very detailed and complex. Or it could be as simple as how big is Noah's Ark. So it's really up to you. Now, each time that you work with the system, it's creating a conversation. Your conversations are listed right here. And you can go and rename these conversations. So maybe this one was about St. Paul and I don't want to forget it. And I hit the green button here, and now I've just changed the name. Or I can come over and I can delete conversations as well. So I can just hit yes, and I can delete the conversation. But all of these conversations are saved here so that you can go back to those whenever you want, and it will remember everything you discussed, and you can continue your conversations. So when you have a conversation about something particular, you can save it, and you can also come over here and click New Chat and just start from fresh. This means nothing has been said, you're starting a brand new conversation. So you can always go back 6 months from now if you had a conversation about Romans 3, and you're doing another sermon on Romans 3, you can go back and continue that conversation that you had in the past. You can also clear all of your chats and start fresh by clicking the Clear Chats button here. Now down here you'll notice that you can actually use a microphone, so I can talk into the system. How old was St. Paul when he died? And you'll see it by holding down. Now you have to hold down that button on the microphone while you're talking, and you'll see it populates it. And then if I submit that question, it's going to read the response back to me audibly so that I can hear it.
St. Paul is believed to have been martyred in Rome around AD 64.
Now I can shut that off by clicking this stop the sound button so I don't have to hear it. In addition, I want to show you one other thing. You can use this paperclip button. If you click this, you can actually upload images. So for example, I have page 1 and page 2 from a book that I have in my library, but I don't have a digital version of it. And I wanted to summarize what is being said on these pages. And hit go. And it's actually going to read the images and go through them, and then it's going to give me a summary of what are on those pages. Now, each time I have a request, I have to upload those book pages. So don't forget, if you ask another question, it's not going to remember unless you upload those book pages again. But you could ask it anything. You could say, produce a sermon outline based on this text from an old commentary that you have on your shelf, or give me a summary, or you might even have handwritten notes that you took in your notebook and you want to take a picture of those and you want to digitize them, have them converted to text, or have it create an outline. All of that can be done. Now within the Research Assistant, you can not only just ask it questions, you can paste text in here and ask it. So I could put in here, write this better, and then I could just paste text in here and hit go, and it'll rewrite it for me. Or I could say, write it in the voice of a particular pastor to see how they might deal with the passage. Or I could say, write it as a PhD, doctorate, professor, whatever, and it'll actually rewrite that text in that voice for you. So you see here, it just analyzed those pictures and gave me a full outline of what was on those pages. So it's a very powerful tool. And it's great while you're writing your sermon over here, you have a question, you just type it in, ask it, and get back to writing, and within a few seconds you're going to get the answer. You can simply touch the responses. So anything in the gray here, just touch it, and you'll see copied to clipboard. So I just touch it and it's copied, Control V is in Victor, and it's in my sermon. And I can customize it, edit it however I want. So that is your research assistant, a very powerful tool within sermonai. Let's jump into our next set of tools, and this is our library. The sermonai has a digital library, version 3 has a digital library, and all of these books are free for you to use. And every month we add 10 books. We're currently somewhere around 300 books, and it grows every month. But these books are not just books that you can read. If you click the button, you can actually chat with these books. So our digital library allows you to talk to the books. So you come over here, and you can see here's the book, and I can read the pages just like I would any book. But here's my chat bot, and I can come over here and say, give me a summary of this document. And it's going to go through, and it's going to summarize the document for me. And it's also going to show you here the page numbers where it found the answers. And if I click them, it's going to take me right to that page and highlight in yellow where it was finding those answers. Now you can also just ask your questions right here. So you could ask any questions, and is the Holy Spirit referenced in this book? And it'll go through and say, yes, the Holy Spirit is referenced in this book. Here's where it's referenced. If there's multiples, it'll show you, and you can go through and read it. So all of these books are chattable, and you can talk to them. But in addition to our public library, we also have the ability to build a private library. What that means is that you can upload any PDF file to the system and create your own private library by clicking Add Books right here. You'll see it's just telling you that it's going to refresh the page. So if you're working on anything here, make sure you save your work, because once you add the book, it'll refresh the page. But you can enter a title of the book, the author of the book, choose your PDF file, and then pick a cover image that you want to show up in your library, like the Mere Christianity book cover. And you can find most of those images for whatever it is you're looking for on Google. Just Google Images. Download the image and then upload it here. And then you can just add your book and build the private library. In addition to that, you can also add links. These links are websites that you use all the time. So if you're using websites all the time to write your sermons, some of your favorite places, like maybe like Bible Gateway, it's a nice site. You just click visit, and all of your favorite websites and all your Bible tools are right here within the sermonai dashboard. So if I wanted to visit Blue Letter Bible Search, I just click it, and boom, we can see all the different tools here are available within this website. So this is a great tool to have all your favorite websites. So you have your public library, your private library, all of your favorite websites. And by the way, you can also search by category. So if I was looking for theology, it'll just show me the theology books, or I can search by book. But the other thing I want to show you that's very important is that we have full Kindle access. So if you have a Kindle account with Kindle books, you just click this, and boom, you can see all of your books are here and ready to be read and integrated into your sermon. We also work with Logos Bible software. So if you're a Logos Bible software customer, you can just click this button and it'll run a full instance of your Logos software right from our dashboard. And so all the tools of Logos will be available to you right here. So now all of a sudden you have the full use of all the tools with sermonai, our full library, plus your Logos library, plus your Kindle library, plus all your favorite website links, all your private books and documents that you use to write your sermons uploaded in one spot, and the public library. So everything is here for you in one place. And that's the power of the sermonai library. Continuing on, now we'll go to our tools. These are all research tools, pre-built, predefined, just for you. And all these tools can be sorted right here. So if you were doing sermon preparation and you only wanted to see the sermon preparation tools, or maybe you're looking for an original language study, click that, and you can see here we have our Greek word analysis, interlinear, Hebrew interlinear, grammatical, original language reports, word studies, syntactical, semantic ranges, all these complicated original language tools that we make very, very simple. As simple as this. You literally just click on the tool. If I want a Greek word analysis on, let's say, grace, and hit go, that's as hard as it is. And now it's going to go off and it's going to provide for you a full report or Greek word analysis on the word grace. And all of your responses will show up right here. So here it is. It's got the Greek word, the definition, the root origins, syntactical roles, translation variations, historical usage. So you see it's a very detailed report. And these right here, these responses and all of our tools can be edited as well. So you can ask AI questions right here, and it'll go through and update the results for you. So maybe you wanted more specific information on something, just ask the question right here and hit go, and it's going to update those results for you. Maybe you wanted to expand upon the root origins. So you could just type expand upon root origins and hit go. And it's going to now update that report, and it's going to expand on the root origins of this word, charis, this Greek word for grace. In addition, you can copy any of your findings here. So if I just click copy, I can close this out even while it's still thinking. I can come back over here and paste this information directly into my sermon. So now I've taken all that research, and if I come back, you'll see that it just gave me that updated report, and it's still working in the background. Now, if I get a response that I really like, I can click the Save button, and that has now successfully saved my response, and it saves them to this area right here. And you can click on this pencil and you can name the file. So this was Grace, and hit Save. And now I've just saved this response. And so I can save up to 20 responses for every tool in the system, and then it begins to overwrite, but it allows you to keep that information for a period of time while you're working on your sermon. So these are all of your tools. And again, I can show all, you can see the power. There's so many different pre-built biblical study tools in sermonai. So anything that you need, it's here. Whether it's an exegetical guide or a Bible word study, or you want to do a biblical person sermon, maybe on John the Baptist or on St. Matthew or whatever, you can just click this and get full reports. We can ask questions about to the church fathers. What do the church fathers think about this, that, or the other historically? You can compare text and translations. You can create instant outlines and manuscripts. You can get titles for your sermons or a commentary, or you can study just the words of Christ. What did Jesus say about money? What did Jesus say about heaven? Whatever. And it'll only focus on the words of Christ and give you all those passages. So there's just a ton of tools in here that you can use. And again, all of the results can be pasted right into your sermon. Now, pastor tools, these are tools specifically for pastors to do their daily work, whether they have to write a letter to a parishioner, or maybe create a meeting agenda, or maybe they're looking for lyrics to a hymn, or want to build a discussion handout or bulletin announcements, or maybe they need to put together a list of hymns for this particular Sunday to match their sermon, and so they could just type in a Bible passage and it'll recommend hymns for them. Or you can create sermon series. For example, I could say, church unity is the topic, and I want to do 5 sermons, and click go. And this is going to put together a really nice church unity sermon series that you can develop then and you can use. So here we go. United in Spirit, sermon number 1, sermon number 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can put 100 in there if you wanted to. So all of these tools are yours to use. The last section I'll talk to you about is custom tools. Custom tools allows you to request tools that are just for you. Nobody else, none of our other customers would have them, only you would have them. So let's say everybody has something they want that's out of the ordinary, something that other people may not care about, but you do. So all you have to do is click New Tool here, and you can enter the title of the tool and the description of what you want it to do. So maybe I'm looking to convert my sermon to a discussion guide, so I would call it Convert Sermon to Discussion Guide. Enter in a description of exactly how I want it to be. So I want the discussion guide to have, an introduction, observation, discussion questions, whatever. Tell us what you're looking for and hit request. Within 24 to 48 hours, you'll typically get a response, whether or not we can build the tool. And if we can, it's basically $20, a one-time fee for our efforts to put that together, and it'll show up right here in your custom tools, and you can begin using that. And it'll only be in your dashboard, nobody else's dashboard. So again, under the tools section, we have the sermon tools, the pastor tools, and the custom tools, all designed to help the pastor in his sermon preparation. Next, we're going to look at sermon templates. So you'll find sermon templates right here on the left-hand side of the screen. And again, don't forget, you can shrink this out and expand your screen, or you can blow this up. It really depends on whether you want it open or closed. It's up to you. Sermon templates. So we've hired a professional firm, to design professional sermon templates for you. So there's lots of different kinds, and they're all sorted here by the type. And so you can just pick whatever type you want to limit this. But you'll see all the different types of sermons that we can put together for you. And they're as simple, for example, if I wanted to do, let's just say I wanted to do a narrative sermon. and I wanted to do it with an NIV Bible translation, and I wanted the passage to be Mark 3:1-3, and I hit go. This will put together a sermon outline for me. Now, it'll be in a narrative format. Now, if I wanted a 3-point sermon, I could choose that template. It would be in a 3-point template, sermon template, or I could do an exegetical, or I could pick some of my favorite pastors that are listed in here, and it'll write sermons in their voice so you can get an idea how they might tackle the passage and maybe use some of the key ideas that they come up with. But you'll see here's my sermon outline. Now it's been written. And again, as simple as clicking copy and coming over and clicking new here and just pasting that in, I've now got a sermon outline that I can begin to use. I'm not starting with a blank page. So the goal of this is really just to give you some ideas, some concepts that you can begin to work with. Now you notice that there are some people like Martin Luther's in here, John Mark, Rick Warren, Tim Keller. These are all personalities that we built in. We want to make it very clear they don't have any affiliation with Sermon AI, but because AI technology understands all the sermons they've written publicly and published, it understands how they think and how they write. So these would emulate those different authors. And the goal is not to have the system write the sermon for you, God forbid, but the goal is for the system to put together thoughts and ideas that can help you to be creative and help inspire and draw out of you what God has put on your heart. So that's sermon templates. In addition, we have workflows coming soon. This is not developed yet. If you click it, it's going to say coming soon. But workflows is going to take you on a step-by-step process. So let's say you wanted to do an exegetical sermon. It will walk you through the entire process step by step. And it'll say, okay, step 1, let's pick a passage. Step 2, let's read the passage multiple times. Step 3, let's compare the passage in multiple translations. And it's going to walk you through each step. But what's beautiful about what Sermon AI is going to do is each step you're going to be able to put in your own thoughts, your own ideas, and your own findings, the treasures that you mine as you're going through the study. And at the end, you're going to be able to click a single button, and it's going to build sermon outlines and Bible devotionals and studies and whatever you're looking for in a single click based on your work. So you did all the homework, and now this is going to lay it out for you professionally. So that's what Workflows is all about. That is coming soon in the next few weeks, and we're really excited about that. Next, let's take a look at Atlas. So this is for geography. Sermon AI 3 has built-in Google Maps now so that you could just basically say Mount Sinai, or you could even put in here a historical event or a biblical passage, and it's going to actually take you to that spot on the map. And I can blow it up, but you can also take this person here and drag it and drop it. Wherever you see blue, you can actually drop the person and get a full view. So now you can see Mount Sinai. So you're writing your sermon, you can actually see what it looks like, and you can explain it to the people while you're preaching. So it's a powerful tool. You could click here to blow that up to full screen. And again, Google does a wonderful job of this. You can hit escape, and it'll take you right back. We also have static maps. Now the static maps will allow you to just pick any map out of hundreds of maps that we have in here. And you can actually drag these maps and drop them right into your sermon. So if you're doing a study guide or you want to put in the bulletin or whatever for your sermon time, you can just drop those maps right in and save them. So this is what Atlas is all about. And again, the Atlas is just powerful tools that you can use for getting a grasp of the geography. One last thing I'll share with you is we have satellite or map styles. So depending on how you want to look at this, you can do it as a map. And you can do it that way, or you can just do a satellite and you can see it this way. So that's what the Sermon Atlas is. Finally, we'll look at the bottom section here. Training videos, my sermons, invite a friend, and suggestions. Training videos are exactly as it sounds. These are all training videos to help you. And this library's just begun. The videos that you're watching right now will be here as well. But you'll be able to click on any one of these training videos to get more information on how to use the system. So if you get stuck, please check out our training videos here. This is a very important part of Sermon AI. This is the Sermon AI Cloud. The Sermon AI Cloud is like Dropbox or OneDrive. It's a place where we organize and store all of our sermons, but we can do a lot more than that. First of all, you can create folders by clicking here, New Folder, and you'll see that I have all these different folders that I use. You can also click on a sermon and you can move the sermon. So if I wanted to move this sermon into this particular folder, I can do that. You'll see it just disappears, it goes into the folder. So you can organize all your sermons here, but the other thing you can do is if I click on any one of my sermons, I can also go into what's called preaching mode. If I click preach, this takes me into a read-only version of my sermon. And I can set the time, so let's say I want to preach for 20 minutes. And what this is going to do when I set the time is it's going to track how long I've been preaching. And when I get 3/4 of the way through, it's going to turn my screen yellow. And when I reach that 20-minute time that I set, it's going to turn the screen red so that I know exactly how long I've been preaching and when to stop. In addition, you have your timer right here. If I click that, you'll see my timer starts. And if I click this button right here, it's going to record my sermon. So it's recording my voice right now as I speak to an MP3 file. So at the end of my sermon, if I want to share this sermon with the world, I can send that audio out. In addition, you'll notice over here we have notes. This can open and close. Here is your sermon. And so here's your preaching, and you can make it larger or smaller. You can also enter full screen mode, and this is just going to show just the full screen of your sermon, or you can exit. And if you want to have notes here, if you can imagine you have your iPad, you're at the pulpit, and you can add notes. For example, I could say, don't forget to smile. And I click save. Oops, I can save that. Smile, save. And boom, you'll see it pops right up here now. I can also add Bible passages. So I can say, I'm going to be referencing 5 different passages in the sermon. I want them all listed there. So I could say John 3, 1 to 3. And I want the ESV translation. And there you go. And hit save. And that's going to actually take that passage and put it right here. So here it is now, John 3 in the ESV. And I can have all those preset for me. So I can keep this closed. And when I get to a certain part of my sermon where I need that passage, I just touch this with my finger, and there it is for me to reference. So it's a very powerful tool. When you're done with your sermon, you can simply pause the timer, hit the stop button, and you'll see I just saved my audio. It names it the title of your sermon, so whatever you saved the title of your sermon as when you wrote it, that's going to be the name, and it'll put the date and time and stamp it for you and save it right to your download folder. And I can hit OK, and now I've got that. So I've preached my sermon, I've timed it. One other thing I'll show you, you can actually hide the timer here, or you can show it. It's up to you. So all of this can be done on your iPad. When you're done, you can go right back to your sermons, and it'll take you back to the Sermon AI folder. In addition, I wanted to show you that you can click on any one of these sermons, and if you hit the share button right here, for example, if I wanted to share Victory of Grace, it will create a link, a shareable link, and you can copy that link, and whoever you send that link to, if they click on the link, it'll look like this. And they'll get a full version of your sermon. So there's your sermon, and they can read it online. So that is the Sermon AI cloud. So that's very important. And you can click back to Sermon AI or do it just as I did to get back. So now I'm back to my dashboard. Invite a friend. If you invite a friend and they sign up, we're going to give you a free month. So this is a great tool. Just enter the invitation email. So just put in the email the person you want us to invite to join. And if they sign up, we'll get you a free month of Sermon AI. In addition, we have suggestions. So if you have any suggestions and feedback, this is the place to send it to us. We do read it. I would say 40 or 50% of all the tools in our system came from suggestions. So we really do take it seriously. In addition, whenever you need help or support, you'll find this chatbot right here. And you can just write your messages in from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We always have somebody on the support line. If it's on the weekends or after hours, we do still check it periodically, but it might take a little bit of time to get back to you via email. Again, you can also reach me, Chris at sermonai.com with any questions, any support issues you're having. Finally, up here is where your account information is. You can come right to, here's your books library. You can see my sermons. That's the same as this over here. But what's really important is my account. Here, and we make it very simple if you want to cancel your account, if you want to update your account, if you want to go from monthly to an annual plan, you can do that here. All you have to do is pick the plan. You'll see it right here at the bottom. Select this plan. It'll automatically update everything. Here you can change your password. You can also change your avatar, so you can choose a picture and that'll show up. You can enter your preferred Bible translation, your denomination affiliation, so the tools will work with that automatically. And you can change your email here. So everything here can be done right from your My Account page. And in a nutshell, that is Sermon AI. So hopefully you've enjoyed it and that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, again, Chris at sermonai.com, or you can get us here in our support chat, and we're happy to help you. In the meantime, happy sermon writing, and let us know if we can support you in any way.